How's it going, guys? My name is Jimmy Champagne and this is Halloween. So if you couldn't guess, Halloween is my favorite holiday. So when Austin came up and asked if I wanted to guest host this episode, I was all about it. We all know Halloween is an excuse to dress up in a cool costume, eat way too much candy, and stay up late on a school night. But did you know, it actually has some pretty spooky origins. It was seen as a time when the gap between the world of the living and the world of the dead was easier to cross. So people left out offerings to spirits called AOC to ensure that their livestock would stay healthy through the winter. Villagers went door to door in disguises to mimic or hide from the spirits while reciting verses in exchange for food. Beginning in the 19th century, the people of the Scottish Highlands would carve grotesque faces into turnips and other vegetables to create lanterns to ward off evil spirits. By the 20th century, the practice moved to England in the form of Punky Night, where on the third Thursday of October, children would march around in costumes carrying jack-o'-lanterns and singing creepy songs. You may have heard the holiday be called All Hallows Eve before, and that's because in Christianity, November 1st is All Saints Day or All Hallows Day, and then on November 2nd, they celebrate All Souls Day. Together, these days are called All Hallowtide, and during these 72 hours, people honor the saints and also pray for the souls of those who haven't made it to heaven just yet. All Hallows Eve was the last chance spirits had to roam the earth and enact vengeance on those who had wronged them. So naturally, people dressed up in costumes to disguise themselves from the spirits that were trying to haunt them. So Matt, if one of your many plots to kill me actually worked, who would you dress up as to avoid my spirit from haunting you?
Roblox Kanye.
So after that whole Salem witch trial thing where 19 innocent women were hung and one man was pressed to death, the Protestants were really not too keen on celebrating Halloween, or even Christmas for that matter. Thankfully for diehard devotees of Halloween like myself, once a large population of Scottish and Irish immigrants came over to America, the practice took hold and Halloween became a national holiday as we know it today. We already talked about the practice of going door to door asking for food, but trick-or-treating as we know it didn't take hold in America until 1947, thanks to children's magazines, radio programs, and weirdly enough, the Peanuts comic strip. And Walt Disney couldn't leave a budding American holiday alone, so he created a short film featuring Donald Duck and his three nephews, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, aptly titled Trick or Treat. DuckTales.
Woo, woo.
And if you grew up in an urban area, you probably know it as trunk-or-treating instead of trick-or-treating. That's when people drive their cars to a local park or church parking lot and open up their trunks and pass out candy to kids there. That sounds way more creepy than I thought it would written out.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm gonna put your kid in my trunk and drive away.
Hey Jimmy, where did jack-o'-lanterns come from?
You haven't heard of Stingy Jack?
No, who's Stingy Jack?
Alright, so Stingy Jack was this really mean blacksmith, and he knew that when he died he probably wouldn't get into heaven, but he didn't want to go to hell. So he tricked the devil into climbing up an apple tree and then put a bunch of crosses around it so the devil couldn't come down. And he said, hey, I'll let you down if you promise not to let me into hell when I die. The devil agreed and everything went along fine. Jack died one day just like everyone else does, and of course he was not let into heaven. So he went down to hell and asked the devil to let him in, and the devil just laughed in his face and flicked an ember at him. Jack happened to die with his favorite vegetable, which was of course a turnip, so he carved it out, put the ember inside, and now he wanders the earth holding his little jack-o'-lantern. And that's Stingy Jack.
Wow!
So if you're over the age of 14, you'll probably get some weird looks if you go out trick-or-treating, just like Matt does every single year. But Halloween, thankfully, is a holiday you can celebrate all the way until you enter the land of the dead yourself. I like to celebrate by going to haunted houses, hayrides, and theme parks, but a lot of towns have costume parties for adults, which are a lot of fun. And if you're one of the cool kids like me who celebrates Halloween all October long, you can watch some scary movies like Halloween, Trick or Treat, or my favorite cult classic, Satan's Little Helper. Have you ever seen Satan's Little Helper, Matt?
No.
It is one of the worst movies ever made.
You're really selling it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Let's watch it together.
Okay. No matter how you celebrate Halloween, I hope you learned something new about what is objectively the best day of the year.
A little biased, don't you think?
And if you want to see more, you can check out my channel. But anyways, guys, my name is Jimmy Champagne, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.